All right, great afternoon, everybody. I appreciate you being here. There's a few more people in attendance than after a practice, that's for sure. So see a lot of familiar faces, and appreciate the Tiger Town Council people that are up here. I'm not going to be long here. I just want to say thank you for the continued support. One thing that we're always striving to do is be the best version of ourselves and do the best that we can for the organization. And this is something that we didn't, it's been a process, but it's something that we're excited about getting going here with the 2023 season. And we're just looking forward to next steps, but do understand that this is an exciting time for the organization. And when we acquired the rights to Bo, you're not always sure how the things are going to end up. But this day has finally arrived. So, with that being said, I know that I'm gonna, I'll field some questions and whatnot after. But this day really is about Bo and welcoming him and his family to the city. And so, Bo, welcome to Hamilton.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you hold that up.
Oh, you over here. What are we looking at?
Right here.
Yep. Got it? If you haven't got it now, you took too long.
All right.
Yep. Yeah, just real quick. I want to thank honestly, the entire Hamilton Tiger Cats organization. Scott Mitchell, worked tirelessly to make this happen. Even met with me in Hawaii. Bought me a drink in Hawaii to make sure that we made this happen. Bob Young, all of Stelco, Alan, Jim, everybody, the entire ownership group. But just honestly, really, really excited to be a part of this team, this organization. It's an organization from afar that I've respected for a really long time. They've always done things the right way. They've always competed at a high level. But a lot of it too for me is the man that was just up here, having the opportunity to play for O and what he does for these guys in the locker room, and everybody that I've talked to that's an ex-teammate of mine or in this locker room has a lot of respect for him and the way this organization runs, and that's the reason that for me that I was able to sign today.
So if you have any questions, just raise your hand and we'll bring a mic over to you.
Definitely not him. Anybody else?
Welcome to Ontario, Bo.
Hey.
I remember Ricky Ray making a similar move when he was about your age. What went into the thought process, and maybe take us through what you want to share about what the Ticats charm offensive was to bring you here?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it for me, Maddie and I talked at the end of the season, and, we have created something and begun a legacy, and it's something that we really wanted to continue, which was winning. And so for me, football-wise, all the decisions came down to, where I thought we were going to have the best chance to win. And, like I said, it starts again at the top with O, and then you got Tommy and Mark as well. And, that's where a lot of my comments came from as far as, saying, hey, like, I'm going to free agency no matter what. It had a lot to do with the fact of making sure that the black and gold still had those three guys at the top, because I wanted to make sure that I know those other two guys deserve some head coaching jobs and are probably going to get some here pretty soon. But I wanted to make sure the coaching staff was going to be intact, and it allows players to want to be here. And I think that gives us the best opportunity to win. So once I got on the phone with Scott, hearing from Scott and realizing him, talking to me and telling how he wanted to make this a big priority to get this done early, so that we could have an opportunity to sign other players and convince other players to come here. That was a big one for me. But it's just from afar, man. This organization has done it right. They've been at the top a lot. Obviously, I've played them in a Grey Cup. They've competed for a lot of Grey Cups these last couple of years, and I just want to, hopefully be a guy that can help get the Grey Cup finally here and actually in this building.
How close were you to testing free agency, Bo? Was that a consideration at all?
Oh, it always was. Yeah. I mean, it was. I think you guys know. I mean, I don't know how much media conferences you do out in Calgary. I know some of you guys are, but I've never really been too much about the money. The money for me is I want to be paid fairly and right for my position. But I'm never asked to be the top paid guy in the league. It's hard to win that way. And I think Spence is probably another guy I should give some credit here, especially Zimmerman. He presented some numbers which I thought were interesting, which was the last 5 Grey Cup winning teams and the quarterbacks and the percentage of their contract that they made of the cap. And it was right in ballpark with what I wanted to make, so I was happy with that. And obviously we worked out some details, and Scott did some great convincing to get those numbers where we wanted them. And free agency, it wasn't about going there and trying to get people to bid up on me and be an auction price. I wanted to have the opportunity to talk with Hamilton. So when Huff decided to trade my rights to Hamilton, I was already pretty ecstatic about it because this was the team that I was kind of had at the top of my list. So obviously there was considerations elsewhere, but those aren't don't need to be talked about just because never went that way, never considered it at the point. But for me, it was once I had the opportunity to get in this building and meet these guys and see the facilities and the people that are in this room, for me, I knew this is where I wanted to be.
Hamilton's hosting the Grey Cup this year. They haven't won the Grey Cup since '99, the longest Grey Cup drought in the league. Was that at all a factor, either of those scenarios?
It doesn't hurt. Yeah, I can tell you that. Like I said, legacy is a big one for me. So to possibly be a guy that can help bring the Grey Cup back into this building, it would mean a lot.
You're a professional athlete. I'm sure you don't need
Thank
extra
you.
motivation
I
to go out
appreciate
there.
that.
Yeah, no problem. I got you. I'm sure you don't need extra motivation, but is there with the Grey Cup being held here, considering the way things ended in Calgary? What is that level heading into the season?
Well, I get a little bit of motivation from it already because we got to host the Grey Cup in 17, I think it was, in Calgary, and not even being Hamilton played Winnipeg that one. It's just not being able to even be there. I know what that feeling is like, and I don't want to ever be a part of it again. So there's a team that obviously feels that way every single year, not being able to be in it, I want to be a reason that the fans want to be there, that drive the season tickets up and get more fans in the stands and hopefully fill this stadium with black and gold on that day to make it a special one, so that if we do bring that cup back here, it makes it all the more merry being at home.
What sold you on the city? What sold you on the area to bring your family here? What was that selling point?
Drew, the equipment guy. No, Kyle, Drew, they got in the car, they drove us around, showing us the city. I mean, honestly, I like how hard-nosed it is. Steel workers just kind of make things happen, and they love this sport, they love this team, they love this organization. For me, it's being a part of something. It's I'm from Texas. You guys know that. I like playing in front of fans. I like playing in front of fans that when you're playing well, it's going great. When you're not, they're mad at you, and they should be. They pay a lot of money and they work hard for their money. When they buy season tickets, they should get a show. And I want to try to make sure we bring them that.
Could you just touch on the facilities here compared to what you were working with in Calgary? I know a lot of players come here, and that's a big selling point. But was it for you?
Come on, man. Yeah, the facilities are, the CFL is obviously different than the NFL, and not every team is blessed with, amazing facilities all around. When I walked in this building, I was very, very impressed. It felt like, a high-end college. I mean, I've never been in the NFL, so I don't know what the NFL ones look like, but I can tell you that I was impressed everywhere, and that's right here, starting with that logo right there. And, for me, it's the weight room, training facilities, being able to walk in and see the stadium, but it's always been about the stadium. When you walk in, you want to feel like you're at a home stadium where your crowd's going to be going wild. And Hamilton, man, the fans are right on top of you, and I like that. So it makes it fun on game day.
Well, how important is your health, and did you possibly benefit from not playing so much during the second half of the season and then having a full off season on top of it?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, my body felt amazing going into just December, which typically isn't the case. I was glad I got to showcase a couple things those last 2 drives there in the playoff game, and like you said, I got to, instead of your body getting kind of torn down over an 18-game season, I got to kind of continue to build it up and continue to work out throughout the season, which obviously I wish it was different, but it was a blessing in disguise. I got to. Been working hard here for the last little bit, trying to keep up with my wife running. That's never going to happen, though. So I get out for like a mile a day, and she's running 6 miles a day. But it's just, man, the body just feels good. My knees don't hurt, my elbows don't hurt, my shoulders don't hurt. Like, body feels good. So, man, I was telling Unger, actually, just now, I saw him in the weight room earlier, him and Mason. It's nice to walk in the weight room and not feel like you have to do rehab. but you get to get in there, and I've got Marcellus's workout program, and just get in there and throw around weights, and use the bar again. It's not just bands all the time, so it's nice to do, and I'm ready to kind of keep progressing that.
Bo-
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, obviously I'll never try to, tell any of these guys that this is somebody I want, or I demand somebody to be here. That's just not who I am. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna lean on, my natural skill to talk to guys, and hopefully, explain to guys what made me sign here. And, maybe that's getting guys back in this locker room that we want back in here. It's getting guys from around the league to get back in here.
They asked you to, now you can do it, you've got about 2.5 weeks to talk to Ticat return potential free agents. They asked you to help with that?
I mean, they've told me there's some guys that they'd like me to lean on, but obviously there's guys that they didn't have to say that for. There's guys in this locker room that catch the football that I want in this locker room. I've already messaged them, and I actually told them before I even told my family, now that I think about it. Not you. My family back home. I think I texted Tim, and you can try to get on the phone here with Steve and make something happen. But just let these guys know. I mean, there's guys in this locker room, we want back here. I got to watch firsthand Tim make those 2 catches at the end of the game to beat us last year. So, I think whatever these guys need. I mean, I'm obviously I know a lot of the guys in the league, and I'll lean on those guys as much as I can.
Seth Small's from your hometown too, I think. Has
He
you ever
is.
played with a guy from Katy before, professionally?
Shoot, no, I don't think I have actually. No, I mean, I've played against him a lot. Like, I played against Andy Dalton in college, and we went to school together. So,
Can you describe what playing football, I mean, that's one of the sort of iconic stadiums in all of the U.S., that high school stadium in Katy. Can you talk a little bit about, was it Friday Night Lights there?
It's like the movie, yeah. I mean, it's not filmed there, if that's what you're asking, but
No, I mean, is that
no, man. Hey,
allegorical?
I grew up in a football town. The town shuts down. The signs come up. At the game. I may have gotten out of a ticket or two for being the quarterback of the Katy High School, but yeah, it's I was prepped for moments like this, going to a school like that and being raised the way I was.
Bo, I think of the, you've done everything this league has really had to offer. You've won Grey Cups, you've won MOPs. I think of that crowd reception that you got in the end of the regular season in Calgary. You did some great media work as well too. Mm-hmm. Why do this? Why continue your career? I mean, it appeared that you could have just wrapped this up and called it a career and hung up with your family for the rest of your life. Why do this?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. I think I don't think my wife would look at me the same if I just walked away from the game like that. I'll never end anything on a loss, and to me, that's a loss the way that ended. I don't look forward to ending my career. It's not something that I'm trying to rush to do, and. For me, that's just not the way I'm going to let my career play out. I think there's a lot of things I haven't done in this league. I've never won a Grey Cup with a new team. I've never won a Grey Cup at home. Never had the opportunity to work with Orlando Steinhauer, and those are things that I've been looking forward to, and I want to check off my list. And there's more. I mean, there's things at the end of my career that I want to do, and those numbers are far away, so I still got a lot of work to do.
I think of types like Danny McManus. This hadn't won a Grey Cup here in a long, long time, and in '99 brought the cup here, and he's a legend in this city. Is that something that you kind of look towards? Because this franchise has gone out and got guys, Moss, Printers, and it didn't work out. Are you prepared for that responsibility of being the Ticats quarterback here in this city? Oh
yeah, if I wasn't, I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have signed that contract this morning. You guys know I'm boastful. I'm confident, and yes, I do border the line of cocky. I will let you know that my physical went great this morning, and he was even saying he thought my body looked great. And I was like, you might be the first person that said that in a long time. But I can tell you that my mind is my strongest weapon, and mentally, these are the moments that I live for. I've wanted to walk into a different stadium, win a Grey Cup for a different team, but it's all built right here in this locker room, man. I'm not going to do anything until I earn the respect of every single number and the name on the back of every single one of these jerseys. In order to do that, I've got to get out here and get to work. So that's what's on my mind. But yes, I will be showing out for the fans. I will give them everything I have. They will find out that I will leave my body on the line for the game, and no lead is safe. Let's just say that.
What kind of work are you going to be doing now with Tommy Condell? He's known throughout the league for being very creative and using 2 quarterbacks at a time and trying to look at offense in a different way. So what does that collaboration look like? Because you won't play now for another 6-7 months.
Yeah, I mean, football's going that way. Football, I mean, it's bringing in, again, like Wildcat came in, first of all, bringing a running back into quarterback, and then everybody copied that for a while. The 2 quarterback thing's been going crazy here for a little bit. Tommy's got a special mind. The guy, I'm looking for houses right now, and he's trying to kick people out of their houses next to him so I can live next to him, so I can just walk over for film. So, and trust me, he's in the back and he's itching. He's got a computer in the room right now ready for me to leave this room to go up there and start talking. But I told him, I called O and I said, hey man, I just want to make sure, when my rights got traded, I said, I want to make sure that Tommy and Mark are going to be there. Those are guys that I want to play with, I want to play for. And so getting to talk to Tommy, man, he's on the same page that I am. We want to bring back some things in this league. I'm not going to obviously give y'all everything, but we're going to make the CFL fun to watch again.
Any more questions? Thanks a lot, Bo.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all.
I'll bring up Coach O for questions. Just if you have a question, just raise your hand and we'll bring up a mic over.
No? Okay.
I'm not going to ask him this question, but I have to ask you. Dane Evans,
Yep.
Matthew Schultz is a free agent at this point, but what does the quarterback situation look like now that you have Bo Levi Mitchell?
Yeah, so Dane's under contract with us, and Dane's been, we've had conversations long since we've acquired the rights, and so right now it's Dane's a Hamilton Tiger Cat, and the next steps will be determined, in the near future.
And knowing that numbers were made that benefited both maybe Hamilton and Bo, what does that look like though? Trying to recruit maybe some high-end talent that isn't already here that you want to extend or re-sign, but guys you want to bring in?
I'm not sure I could really say it any better than Bo did, right? It just speaks to the character, the veteran status of just understanding the makeup of a football team. So I think that there's huge value in what that may look like. At the end of the day, you can't make anybody sign anything, but when you show people actually the direction you're heading, the vision, it can't help but help as you're trying to acquire people.
Hey, Coach, how excited are you to have Bo Levi Mitchell in black and gold?
Yeah, I mean, when we went after, at the end of the day, you can only acquire what's available, right? And so you never know what's going to be available. So when you have the opportunity to acquire somebody of that stature, you don't really necessarily know exactly how it's going to end up. And so, yeah, we're extremely excited, right? And I think the city is. I think you can feel it. I think there's a lot of things that we talk about in here about. There's a lot of things you can say, but it's really how people feel. And I think the energy is great. You guys have a sample of what he's about, and what you see is what you get. It's the same conversation. I felt the same vibe when I first met with Bo. And so I'm just excited for Bo to be Bo, and then for him to exude that through everybody else in the locker room.
Could this be an infectious thing that goes out during free agency and bringing in other free agents who may not have considered Hamilton before?
Time will tell. I don't know how it's going to hurt us. I can tell you that. So, obviously, we're not going to be shy about it. Bo could be very instrumental in acquiring maybe new faces or bringing back other faces that are very familiar to us and the city of Hamilton.
This might not be the right word, but is there a sense of validation that when Bo says he wants to go to a place that has a winning culture, that's set up for success, that can compete for Grey Cups, is there validation in that, okay, we are on the right path considering last year didn't end the way you wanted it to?
Well, I think, it's just the same as in marketing or anything else. I think your best source is the people that you have, right? And, as you can tell, he's, very smart. Those regimes were different, and, respect to all those moves. All those moves, I would believe, were in an effort to give them the best opportunity to win. And so when you make moves like that, you don't think about the negatives that can happen, and I'm no different. Like, we're full speed ahead. After this, we're upstairs, I'm on the phone with the GMs, and we're trying to get better, right? We're not resting on a move like this. We're committed to being the best that we can be. So pressure comes when you're not prepared, and we have lots of time to prepare, and I just truly believe that. And so one thing that I know we'll be is prepared. You're not going to have to worry about effort, energy, those type of things. I think you can attest that, win, lose, or draw, when people drive home, they're not going to ever say that team was lazy or they didn't play hard. And so those are things we can control. As far as the expectations, we know what the expectation, we know what the goal is, but we're more focused on the process and how to get there. And this is just a step in the process, and we'll do our part. And then the players that show up in training camp, 99% of them will be who we'll line up with to go after the Grey Cup this year. And then there's always a few acquisitions, but other than that, no pressure. Expectations always remain the same. Every time we take the field, we're going to expect to win. We don't worry about if that's happens or not. We're never going to take the field and expect to lose. There's too much time and effort, and so we're just going to be focused on the process, and that involves getting the right people. And this is one of those positive steps for us.
Does this excite you?
Does what?
All of
Football
that.
excites me. This excites me. I haven't seen this many people at a presser in a while. This is a great day. This day is not really about me, right? This is about us.
Hey, Coach.
What's up, RJ?
You bring in Bo, who's won championships, never missed the playoffs. Is that a factor that will help a team, just having that championship experience and a proven winner in your room?
I think my quick answer is yes. I think anytime somebody's been there, they do understand what it takes to get over the hump, and they did it with that set of people in the locker room. But I think we all bring different experiences from our coaching staff. We won it, and we've had coaches on here win it in different organizations, and I think they're all different and unique in their own right. And so we're just looking to put together the best staff that we can. But yeah, when you acquire somebody who's done it a certain way and at a high level for a long time, you do use that experience. And I think there are some common denominators and things that resonate throughout all the teams that have won.
Any more questions? Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Thank you.